Hi guys, Kim here at Olive City Homestead, and this is just a quick video to share with you. I'm planting my tea plants. Yes, the Camellia Sinensis and the Camellia Sinensis Assamica. This is a tongue twister I've been saying a lot lately, and I'm getting better at it, I think. So come with me and let's see how this goes. So guys, this is the little tiny 3-inch pot that my Camellia Sinensis tea plant came in. And I got 2 of these. And then I got 2 Camellia Sinensis Assamica tea plants that were a little bigger, 4.5 inches tall instead of 3. And I planted 3 of them. This is the last one I'm going to plant now. So, as most of you who've watched many of my videos know, I usually plant in my own soil that I mix and make myself here on my little homestead. So I use a little bit of native soil, which is a mixture of clay and sand, to give me some good minerals. And also I use some soil that I have already in beds that I have, made in the past, because at this point it has a lot of worms that are great for your soil, of course, in them. And so I'll transplant some of those into my new beds and pots. But by and large, I make my own soil with decomposed, rotted down wood chips, chicken manure and duck manure, sheep droppings, alfalfa pellets, old vegetation that I take out of my veggie garden and my fruit orchard. Collard leaves make great compost. Borage plant leaves make great compost. So many things do. And yeah, I build up good soil with those things. And, I add in a few organic things now and then as an exception when something really needs it. But really the main exception is this. When I plant citrus trees, whether that's lemons, oranges, limes, things like that, I do use citrus soil. A good organic one. And these tea plants, these Camellia Sinensis tea plants, also require this acidic soil. So here we go, planting my last tea plant. I think that's about it. Okay, make it a nice good size hole in there. Now you do want to be very careful when you transplant things like this and get them in at the same level that they're in the pots that you receive them. Now, I had watered this plant very well yesterday and made sure it was still quite wet. Not soggy, but very wet before I put it in here. And I'm going to carefully water it again. You could also water it before you plant it, but sometimes that's a little messy. And then I'm going to put it in filtered sun for the next several days with the other 3 tea plants before I take them to what I think is going to be their final spot. We'll see. I am super excited about growing my own tea plants, if you hadn't noticed. I mean, I've been growing my own herbal tea plants and learning all of the many other plants like my strawberry tree that I can use the leaves from to make tea as well. But now I'm going to have the ability to make black tea and green tea and use those actual, what we think of as actual tea leaves in my blends along with my herbal teas. So I am super excited, and I will share more with you as we go along. One other little tip when you're planting new plants is to make sure you don't just start spraying the water in there because that water might be very hot. If you live somewhere like me where spring is starting to occasionally feel more like summer, and we are currently in the middle of the day at 83 degrees. So this water was quite hot when I first let it come out. Fortunately, I know well enough to test it. So now I'm going to water that plant, making sure not to wet the leaves, and put it in a nice bright but shady spot for the next couple of days. And there they are. These 2 taller ones are the Camellia Sinensis Assamica variety, and there are the 2 Camellia Sinensis variety. And they're in some bright shade, and I think they look great and are going to do super well. And I'm really looking forward to their progress over the summer and fall and seeing, just how they grow. And looking forward to, in a couple of years, starting to harvest my own tea leaves. Meanwhile, it's time to enjoy some tea. Usually I only blend, 3, maybe 4 items in my teas. But today I'm going to be blending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, 6. I need to go grab something real quick. Look, chamomile flowers, the first of the season. I can't resist adding a couple to my tea today. So what I've got here is the chamomile flowers I just showed you. This is stevia, so I have 3 leaves of stevia to sweeten it up. This is some pineapple sage I just picked because, you know, that plant always needs pruning anyway because it grows so intensively wherever I plant it, it seems. And oh my goodness, it smells so good, just like pineapple. We've got a sprig of rosemary, always good for you, great thing to add to any tea. Some pomegranate seeds from last summer, and some organic Asamaka black tea. And remember, this is one of the plants that I am actually growing now. Up till now, I've had to buy it to put in my tea blends because sometimes I just do herbal tea, but sometimes I like to add in black tea. So today I'm going to be using up some of the organic tea I bought recently and enjoy it until, well, next year when I can start harvesting my own. Now I wanted to show you this teapot that I got at the thrift store. Isn't that beautiful? And no, it's not perfect. You can see right there under the wing, it has a little crack. But otherwise, this is in great shape. Now, this teacup I think is pretty. Kind of cheerful with those wildflowers there. And you know what? The saucer does not match. Oh, right there on the right, there's a chip. But who cares about a little chip? Certainly not me. And in fact, I think the cup and saucer look just fine together. It really doesn't bother me. And so with my mashup of tea flavors, I have a little mashup of teacup, tea saucer, and teapot today against a pretty backdrop of neglected flowers. But they're still looking nice, aren't they? All that color, the bees are loving them. And I sit here with the breeze blowing and the birds in the background. And now, about to drink some tea, and I can't help but feel calm and hopeful and excited about the growing season ahead. So I've rinsed everything off, and now I'm putting the flowers in, and the stevia leaves, and the pineapple sage leaves, and we'll just break the rosemary into little bits. That's one long sprig there. Get that in. And I've already dumped in the black tea. So what's left? Oh yeah, the pomegranate seeds. So dumping in the pomegranate seeds. Now it's time to steep this tea. I always find pouring in the water to be a very calming process in and of itself. All right. And now we just let it steep. See you in a few minutes. And now it's time for some tea. I always recommend to have a saucer nearby for your strainer because it will drip a little. I'm excited to taste this. I have a feeling it's going to be a really good blend, which I need to write down because I'm a little bad about that. You know, writing down the things I try. All right, here we go. I think this is kind of full, so I was right. Ooh, doesn't that look gorgeous? I love that color. I bet that's those pomegranate seeds giving it that rich color. Isn't that beautiful? Here it goes. Oh, that is yummy. That is really, really good. Oh, thank you so much for joining me today as I planted my tea plants and as I'm enjoying this beautiful, delicious cup of tea. I encourage you, go make your own tea. Even if you don't usually, or if it's already getting hot where you are, you know, this would easily turn into a great iced tea if I put it in the fridge and then poured it over ice later today. But right now I'm going to sit back and enjoy this and watch my flowers. Oh, so good. So thanks for joining me today in this short video on planting my new Camellia Sinensis plants for making my own tea. If you also are interested in experimenting with new plants and growing things that you love to eat and drink, as the case may be, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel because that's the kind of content I provide. I usually do so on a weekly basis, if not more often, and I would love to have you as a new subscriber. We're all about simple living and actually nature therapy, because whether it's from drinking tea that you make yourself from the tea plant and herbal tea, or whether it's the healthy vegetables and fruits you're eating from things you grow organically in your own garden, or whether it's because you're just spending time outside in nature, working with Mother Nature herself, in the ground, in the sunshine, fresh air. It does a wonderful amount of natural therapy for you, mental, emotional, physical, all of it. And I can't recommend it highly enough. So have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you again next time. And remember, you can create the life you want. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise.